Let's check our calendar for you, because NASCAR Now is going to be on the air tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on ESPN2. And then our next Nationwide Series broadcast will be next Sunday from Montreal and Quebec at 2 Eastern. That's also on ESPN2. And Sprint Cup Series has the week off. It'll be 2 weeks. Will be September 5th on Sunday, 7:30 Eastern from Atlanta. And that one on ESPN. That looks slow car. Scott Speed is into the wall.
Another right front, it looks like.
Get you down.
Caution is out. Don't know.
We got tire go down, Scott. Yep.
Yep, and there is the right front tire and the damage on the right side. He was 25th when this happened. Now, right as we went to break, thought we saw the 48 maybe have a little bit of contact. And
yeah, he did make some contact with the lap car on that right front fender.
It's Tony Raines. And then just before we had the caution, David Rudiman was able to get around him.
It does take much. I was watching these lap times, and they're all within like a tenth of a second. So you lose just a couple of hundredths, it can show up out there.
This is the view from Kyle Busch's car. There's the 82.
Slow up on the head. Cleared at top.
So they're going to head down pit road. Let's send it to Vince.
Well, David Rudiman's had a good night tonight. He's been running in the top 5 all evening long, but he's had a real loose race car. He reported just before this stop, it's the best it's been all night. They're still going to take a half pound out of the right rear, but otherwise it's been good. Jamie?
Kyle Busch says he gets loose when he's in traffic, but when he's out front, it's all good. He wants to leave it alone. It's 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. They have been getting the job done on pit road tonight. Doc?
Ryan Newman says the car starts tight and starts getting loose in a hurry. And he said, in fact, it gets so loose, he loses confidence getting the car in the corner. So they're going to make a wedge adjustment, take a half a pound of air pressure out of the left front on the 39 car. Dave.
Second place, Jimmy Johnson needs his car to be tightened up a little bit on the gas. That'll be a track bar adjustment for Jimmy. Can his crew beat one of the hottest crews on pit road, which has been Kyle Busch's, and get the lead back? Jimmy Johnson's team finishing up on the left-hand side. It'll be close.
The race off pit road goes to Jimmy Johnson. Kyle Busch drops a spot, as does David Rudiman. And Matt Kenseth picks up 3. And all those cars made 4 tire changes. I think they got your message there, Andy. Here's the race off pit road. Take a look. That's how close it was.
That number 1 pit stop really pays off for the 48.
And the reaction of the crew? Yeah, they're breathing a little easier. Stay with us. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Back here at the IRWIN Tools night race at Bristol. We are getting ready to go green, and it's out with Jimmy Johnson in front of Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, David Rudiman, Martin Truex. Whoa, Kyle. There we go. This is going to get dicey. Jimmy backs out of it. He almost gets rear-ended from the 99 of Edwards.
Man.
Rudiman said, beginning of the broadcast, said he wasn't going to take any prisoners tonight. And boy, food poisoning did something for him. He is second place, but, you know, that brings up one thing. 500 laps. Is he going to be able to go the distance?
I'm sure he'll tough it out, but that's difficult. Anytime that you haven't been able to get yourself properly prepared for this race, it's the most physically demanding race that we have on the circuit.
Well, he is in second place right now behind Kyle Busch. There is Jeff Gordon. Let's go back. Hold on. We're going to wait for this because Rudiman's going for the lead.
Yeah, you see, got just a little bit loose trying to make that pass on the bottom. He's got a fast car and really going through the center of the corner. He's got a tough man right there in front of him to make a pass on for the lead.
Of course, David won back at Chicagoland. Right now, he'd like to get his second victory of the year. Vince, what's going on?
Well, and guys, it shouldn't be a surprise that Rudiman is running well here tonight, because if you'll remember back to the spring, he was running second place at the time that his engine cut loose. So he runs well here. There was some concern about it today, this weekend, I should say, because of the fact that he had been ill, but he got back in the car for the final practice, qualified it well. He's mentioned nothing about feeling ill here tonight, and I'd say that car is feeling pretty healthy too, as Jimmy Johnson now comes up to the back bumper of the 00.
I think running up front will make you feel better.
I promise you, that's the best medicine a driver can ever have.
Jimmy Johnson trying to get back into the mix right now. This is the furthest behind he's been all night. He led 174 laps. Kyle Busch has led 29 and counting. Travis Quabbel and Tony Stewart have each led 1. We've had a total of 7 lead changes. And here comes Jimmy trying to take a peek underneath the 00.
Yeah, this is what I want to see after they made adjustments on this 48 car. How's this car going to react? Are they going to be able to drive their way back to the front?
Now, we got to tell you, Kevin Harvick had to come back into pit road. They took the sway bar, looked like disconnected. What's the report from down there, Jamie?
Well, remember, he's been saying how loose he is all night and how confused they've been on what adjustments to make. So on that round of pit stops at 197, they came in and made an air pressure wedge adjustment, and they tried to unhook the rear bar and failed. So he had to come back around on lap 196 and redo it. So it was a couple laps difference there. They actually got it unhooked finally, but he slipped back about 7 positions, guys. Let's go over to Tim Brewer. He can explain more on unhooking the rear bar, Tim.
Thanks, Jamie. What you put the rear anti-roll bar on the car for is to make the car rotate through the center of the corner. But we use these quick pins, and what happens right here, when you push the button, this pin comes out of the bar, and what happens, you unload it. And what that's going to do, that should tighten the car up, not make it rotate through the corner. Going to tighten the car up there and help the forward bite from the center of the corner off.
Thanks, Tim. Over in the Craftsman Tech Garage, Harvick running 27th. He's the last car on the lead lap. As we move a little bit further forward in the field, there is Clint Boyer along with his teammate Jeff Burton. That is 12th and 13th. Let's go back to this battle for second place between David Rudiman and Jimmy Johnson, and here comes Jimmy.
Yeah, Rudiman's car looks like it's a little looser this run with this set of tires.
Yeah, he's been the one that's been best in the longer run, so I was kind of surprised to see him jump out there that quick on those tires, but it looks like his car is a little bit free.
Dave, what's the latest on the 48? Whoa, look out, we've got a spin on track, and gathering it up was the 14 of Tony Stewart. This is a crash that looked like it should have happened, and somehow he managed to keep it from going all the way around. He's lost a bit of momentum. Let's go back, take another look. I just caught the tail end of it. There he goes.
Yeah, a lot of damage to that car.
Yeah, that's a crash right there. He's driven his way up into the top 20.
Dip side.
What happens quick here?
Clear low.
Green flag is still out, and here comes the 99 of Carl Edwards approaching on David Rudiman. Jimmy Johnson has gotten around David, so now this is a battle for third. And Juan Pablo Montoya, you just got a glimpse of him there in the 42. He is running in 5th, and here comes Jeff Gordon in 6th. So those two cars trying to get into the mix. Next time by, let's give you the speeds at the line. See who the fastest car on the track is right now. There's your race leader, Kyle Busch.
Well, right now, Kyle Busch has all this free track in front of him, but Jimmy Johnson does have the fastest lap that time by.
You see where they are running. Dale Earnhardt Jr. now up to 10th position. That car has been slowly but steadily getting better as the night has gone on. And there you see, that's how quickly the laps fly by. Just about 15.5 seconds is all it takes to lap here at Bristol. Back here at Bristol Motor Speedway, where the laps are flying by, we are just about to halfway at the 500 laps. On board right now with Kyle Busch. He is our focus in our Gillette Pro Guide profile as he started 19th, and he's looking for the trifecta. Won the truck race on Wednesday night, Nationwide Series race last night, and is leading now and has scored more points here in the last 10 races than any other driver. So the odds are he may become the first ever to sweep all 3. Tony Stewart did go to pit road with the damage that he had on that spin that ended up into the wall, and he is now right now 2 laps down, and there he is. Doc, what's the latest?
Well, Tony Stewart, the people behind him said, look like you might have a right rear tire coming apart from the spin. He probably cut part of the tire and maybe pulled some rubber out, and drivers around him, reported they thought the tire was coming apart. So Tony came on the pit road to change right side tires. This night just went from bad to worse. Back in the field now, way back in traffic.
Yeah, Tony's shown 29th now, 3 laps down. And remember, he entered tonight with 5 straight top 10 finishes, and he could take a big slam in the points right now if he can't recover.
Here's a guy on the move, Jamie McMurray. You know, he's had twice on pit road, he's had problems, but he's worked his way back into the 14th spot, trying to take that 13th spot away from Jeff Burton. Going to do that. Fast race car, and he still has plenty of time left.
Just ran that last lap at 16.8 seconds with traffic. A little bit further, there is Greg Biffle and Casey Kane. That also a battle for 15th position on the racetrack.
Yeah, Biffle looks like he has his car actually a little bit better now. He's been able to make a few passes, and they'll keep working on that. Casey Kane's going to try to work the inside.
Well, he's got 4 tires this time. That 2-tire strategy they tried, it got them some track position, but it looked like they kind of balanced back out at the end of that run where they started.
Well, he's bouncing back from that penalty he had back on lap 61. We're working lap number 233 right now.
Let's talk about Jamie McMurray right up in front of this. He's running as high on the racetrack as anybody is, especially anybody that's running fast times.
There's Jamie on the left side of the screen. And here goes Casey trying to go underneath the 16 of Greg Biffle. It looks like he may get him this time, and he does.
Well, Casey's another one that had a pit road penalty, a speeding there, put him at the back of the pack, but still trying to work his way forward.
Martin Truex, you saw on the right-hand side of your screen, getting a little pressure from Joey Logano. There's the view from up above. And the 47 of Marcus Ambrose saying, you guys give me some space and I'll pass both of you.
That's what's happened since they redesigned this racetrack and made the progressive banking. Obviously, see, we have a lot more room to race. Before, it was just basically one groove on the bottom, and you raced around there until you caught somebody, and if you couldn't just, they didn't slip, you'd knock them out of the way.
And the 20 got loose there, Dave. What are you hearing?
Marty, we haven't talked about it much tonight, and after he qualified third, you might have thought we'd see Joey up front longer, but crew chief Greg Zipadelli told me this morning they were not very optimistic. He said they weren't able to get their driver comfortable in the car, and they never figured out exactly what this new tire wanted. So I said, what about the qualifying lap? And he said, well, that was just a good qualifying lap.
All right, let's go with another battle because Clint Boyer is on the move. He restarted 15th on the last restart, and Boyer now is up to the 9th position after passing Kurt Busch.
You see how that track is black all the way to the very, very top.
Just to give you an update, while Boyer's running 9th, Mark Martin is running in 20th position. Again, if you're tuning in, we would point out the green names means that those are cars that are currently in the top 12 in the championship chase for the championship. Those in the yellow are still eligible. Those in the white have no chance. They've been eliminated.
Looks like Rudiman's car is starting to come back to him a little bit, but also look at that 99 car, Carl Edwards.
Yeah, got lap traffic of Bobby Labonte right there. Labonte is in 38th position. He is 134 laps down. They were behind the wall, came back out after making some repairs, and here comes Rudiman right up on the bumper, slides up the hill, and that opens the door for the 99 of Edwards. On the right side of your screen, Kyle Busch is going to lead now, 65 laps tonight, and that means he's now got 1,000 career laps led here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And he's also going for the trifecta, and right now his lead is up to 2.5 seconds over Jimmy Johnson.